guys, I am 4 days out of that crazy sinus reconstruction surgery. Yeah, so just bear with me here.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
If you haven't been here before, my name is Miranda, and this week we're going to be talking about dealing with other CFERS in public, like in your town, in whatever area you're in. If you're at the clinic and there's other CFERS around, if you're in the grocery store and you see another CFER, how do we handle it? How do you handle it? What precautions do we take? Do we take any? Things of that sort. I grew up in a very, very small town, and there was a handful of CFERs that I knew personally that lived there, and there were a couple that I was aware of but didn't know. When we were younger, up until about 7 or so, there weren't really any precautions. Like, we would hang out at each other's houses and see each other at doctors, and you know, it wasn't a big deal. We were just like, hey, what's up? You know, if we had a swim team meet, which the majority of us did swim together, you know, we would say hey, and that would be that. There wouldn't really be anything that we would go around it because there weren't any guidelines in place. When the guidelines became a thing, everyone became more cautious, and at swim team meets we would talk to each other like on the other side of the pool. It would be like kind of a screaming hi. And we would make sure that we competed on opposite sides of the pool and such. When it came to seeing each other in public, like, we stopped going to each other's houses. If we saw each other like in Sam's or Walmart or something, we would talk like a little bit further down the aisle from each other. And then the older we got, the more close in proximity we seemed to get. There's one girl that I would see a lot in public. We would always end up at the same Chinese restaurant down my street, and we would just make sure we were a couple of tables apart, and we would say hi. Luckily, I didn't go to school with any of them, so I didn't have to worry about classes and such. But if I would have ended up going to high school, I most likely would have ended up in school with this same girl. She actually ended up working at the place that I got my hair done for the last 7 years, about a year and a half ago, I think. Maybe just a year ago. I would go through the other door just to make sure I wouldn't run straight into her and we wouldn't touch the same things. And she would just stand like on the other side of the hairdresser's booth, so we would still kind of keep that 5-6 feet distance. There's another girl that I grew up with that we always met up at the CF Bowl-a-thons every year. So, you know, we would say hi, take selfies, whatever, with selfie sticks to make sure we were a distance apart. And we would make sure we were a couple of different lanes apart from each other. And then I know a lot of other CFERs in my state. One of them, we met up at a couple of CF events, one she sang at, and we met up right beforehand with one of the girls that we're friends with that works with the foundation. And so we kind of talked and whatnot, but made sure we were like a safe distance apart. I would recommend, if you do this, to wear a mask, but we just kind of made sure we were a good distance apart. So it is possible to be friends with CFERs, like in person. You just have to take precautions. If I do know I'm going to see a CFER, that's the tongue twister. I do make sure I'm not actively sick, because I think that, you know, that just puts up another wall. I don't want to get any of my friends sick, and there's always that possibility there, but it's a higher possibility if we are actively sicker. So I do try to make sure I am feeling my absolute best if I do know that I'm going to see one of my friends. It's really cool to run into each other in restaurants and stuff and see another person take enzymes. I always feel like it's so weird when other people don't take them. So like to see another CFR in person and see them take enzymes before they eat, or you know, whatever, just like, oh, it feels like home. It's just a really good feeling. And yeah, just be safe. I wouldn't go to sticking my tongue down another CFR's throat, and I definitely, wouldn't sleep in the same bed as another CFR or sit right next to each other on a car. There's precautions that I want to take, not specifically even for myself, but for my friends, because I don't want to risk getting them sick. I want to know what your guys' thoughts are about seeing other CFers in public, and, do you guys hang out? What do you do? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to talk about it. And to all my CF friends from back home, if you're watching this, hi! I hope you guys are all doing well. And just for a catch up on my head, I'm in a lot of pain. Last night was awful. They have a storm that's going through right now, and the pressure on top of the already existing pain is just no bueno. So yeah, sitting up right now is a lot. Give this video a thumbs up and share it if you related to it or found it useful. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we put up a new video, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna leave my social media accounts as well as the channels in the description down below, and I really do want to talk to you guys about this topic. And if you guys have any tips on seeing CFers in public, like different safety precautions that you take, or if you take any, I want to talk to you guys about them, because this is a really interesting topic that we do need to talk about more in our community. Yeah, I am gonna go lay down. I hope you guys are all doing well, and until next time, remember to stay salty.